I saw TikTok and it was like everybody else that is seeing these solar eclipse, and it was like, yay, this is so cool. And then it cut and it had the, the dramatic music with the color change.
Yeah.
And it was like Christians knowing the solar eclipse is coming, and he's like sitting there like this with the music. It's like so intense. I was like, I don't know if that's the general consensus with Christians and the solar eclipse.
Yeah, we got to look at the solar eclipse, by the way. So what happened? What happened? Was there a massive flood?
Oh, man. I don't think so.
Comments?
Oh.
Is there documentation of people getting raptured?
Horns heard around the world?
I don't know. As an audio expert, I don't know how anyone could
perceive those as fake.
Perceive those as fake.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric Miller. He said, yo, super chats from heaven, bro. We didn't get raptured.
Dang. They got good connection.
Great tribulations has commenced.
Hmm.
The Antichrist has risen up. What happened?
We got 40 days still.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be like the Trump prophecy thing. They're going to keep demanding another 40-day extension.
Dude, it's only 4:32 on West Coast time, and it's actually 1:32 in island time. So if he doesn't come by PST midnight, he's at least
Australia is a whole day ahead.
Australia doesn't get raptured.
Down under.
They're an island of criminals.
You know, flat earthers like don't rock with Australia because it like disrupts their whole map.
So what, they're just like mad at them?
They just don't believe.
They're just mad
like
that
thing. Yeah.
They're like, don't lie. You're just a government pawn from the UK.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what happened. There was rumors of like, well, not rumors. There was National Guard deployed.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I think people didn't understand that National Guard got deployed when people gathered in big gatherings. Like that's fairly standard. You know?
Oh, so people were like, oh, National Guard's here. Jesus is definitely coming, and they know it.
Oh, yeah. How many of you goobers accidentally looked at the sun like I did?
Ruslan put on my regular glasses and was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I think there's like a specific, very specific thing you got to wear to.
Zach pointed out that like we probably should have went and traveled somewhere and saw this thing in person because it was fire. Can you pull up the stream real quick from NASA? I mean Satan. Is that really what it? Gosh. And the sky like became dark.
You know what? I get why they thought Jesus was coming back.
That looks pretty amazing. This is NASA. Angelic. Yeah, this is NASA. That looks nuts. Okay.
Look at the light escaping.
Is that actual NASA? Is that the big stream?
Yeah, NASA.
Let me see.
They had little music. Oh, look at that. It's actually disappearing. Look at the light. Oh, it's almost gone. That's crazy.
This almost looks
what
fake.
This? Oh, this is definitely fake. I'm calling it now.
That's not the stream I was looking for.
NASA more like Kappa.
It's amazing and eerie at the same time.
That's midday.
Is that that's not midday? Is it?
This happened earlier today. This is during the solar eclipse.
Is it that dark?
Yes.
So it got dark. Chat, help me out. It got dark.
I thought they would need like they need some Sonys in there. Look how dark that is.
Wow.
And they had lights. They like floodlights so people could see.
So it got dark.
Yeah, look at that.
Started out in October of last year with the annular eclipse. And
how long did it stay dark?
We take a pause here in the middle to
couldn't have been longer than 30 minutes.
But then it will end
you know what I was thinking about?
What?
When Jesus was crucified in Matthew 24, it says like the sun became dark or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if a solar eclipse happened the day Jesus got crucified.
Oh, 100%.
What a trip would that be?
Yeah.
Right? Because it was dark in the middle of the day.
I think that's part of the rapture theology.
Is it?
No, not like actual, but like that's why people thought April 8th, like, oh, there's gonna be a solar eclipse.
Well, it also talks about that, yeah, in the rapture stuff, obviously. But I was just thinking because I was reading that passage and I was like, man, this is great. Yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean,
this looks stunning, dude.
Yeah, that's nuts.
About 2 minutes. So it was like nighttime dark for about 2 minutes.
Wow.
It was like nighttime dark for about 2 minutes. About 3 or 4 minutes for each state that was within totality region. Yeah, it was dark for an hour, which is not a solar. It was dark for an hour. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying, yeah. So some people say that was the sun. It was like cloudy and gloomy and storms.
So it made it even darker.
But I mean, maybe it was just, I don't know. Was it possible that 2,000 years ago the eclipse was a little longer back then? I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. The Rapture was invented in 1834. Yeah, that's like, isn't the Rapture a strong overlap with like dispensational theology? Isn't that true?
We had our day was slightly tinted for about 15 minutes, maybe. I looked outside and I was like, are these windows tinted or is it slightly? It wasn't, you wouldn't know. If you never saw daylight before, you would think it's a bright sunny day.
Next solar eclipse in U.S. is 2033. Yeah, but it's not a full solar eclipse, right? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. The next full solar eclipse is 2026 in Spain, I think is what we saw. I want to go to that one.
The next full one is in 2040 something.
In America.
In America, yeah.
In America. In America. Thank you for that super chat. Yeah, so a lot of you guys saw it in person. That's dope. So how dark was it? Like,
shout out to Middle America.
I'm really trying to understand. Are we talking it's bright light outside in daytime, and then it goes pitch black night, or like dusk night, and then it goes back to bright daylight? Is that how it worked?
We should turn off the lights that set the mood.
No, we shouldn't. I saw it. It was night. It was nighttime for 4 minutes. So it was nighttime. Twilight with sunset in every direction. Wow.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
See, I want to see more of that. Like, this looks cool, but I'm trying to see like how.
What was the vibe like?
Yeah.
I want to see the people.
They said it was twilight, so I guess this is like twilight right here in this shot.
I'm sure tomorrow there will be some YouTubers that pulled up. Cinematographer
so
guys.
It's like dusk and twilight. Okay, thank you, chat. Appreciate you guys. Wow.
And it got cold.
And they
Isn't
said 360 sunset. What the heck does a 360 sunset even look like, bro?
And it got cold.
And it got cold. It was like 6 p.m. dark here. It was dark enough for my solar light came on.
360.
All right. So listen, there's been a lot of bad takes around the solar eclipse. I don't have time to go over all of them. Because, you know, what we're going to do, what Christians do at these sorts of situations is they're so self-deceived that they'll just keep pushing the dates out. So if I say, hey, nothing happened April 8th, despite the 4.8 earthquake that happened a few days before 4/8/2024, despite that, what they'll do is they'll just keep pushing the timeline out. We saw this with the Trump prophecies, unfortunately. People that, you know, up until the end of 2021 were still convinced that Trump was going to retake the office. Shout out to Amy for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. She said, I'm in Dallas, saw totality in stars, lasted 4 minutes. Wow, that's incredible. We see according to the Bible that prayer is extremely important in terms of us being transformed from the inside out when we get aligned with God's will. For the Christians watching this channel, I want you guys to implement these spiritual disciplines in your day-to-day life. And the only way I've been able to do this consistently is through writing down my prayers in a prayer journal that does a few things. One, it allows me to reflect and come to God humbly and ask Him to move on my behalf. And two, it allows me to document my prayers, which ultimately help me remember the very things that I was praying for and see the hand of God tangibly in my life when He answers them. So I would urge you, consider writing down your prayers. It could be in a blank notebook. It could even be on your phone. Or you could check out the one I personally designed and used from my own quiet time and spiritual discipline that I think will be a huge blessing. It's the exact structure and system that I've used for years to pray and be more consistent in my spiritual disciplines. You can pick yours up today by clicking the link in the pinned comment below. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.